and welcome to our BVI company segment. Hey, what you got for 'em today, Sassy?
Well, yes, thank you all for tuning in for this awesome segment because we have our amazing company right here that provides some services for our BVI community. And I have the honor of introducing to you all Mr. Idan Meir, who is the co-founder of the company right here. Welcome, Idan.
Welcome, Mr. Idan. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah. So, Ms. Saidon, I am just so impressed with right here and the capabilities that it has, but I know there are many that may not know what right here is. So, if you can just kind of give us a little bit of background about yourself and then introduce right here to our listeners, that would be awesome.
Of course, of course. So thank you again. My name is Idan, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Right Here. And Right Here is an uh, audio format signage system or audible wayfinding system. And we're going to talk more about what that means in a few minutes, I guess.
Hmm.
But um, our story begins almost 8 years ago, actually,
Hmm.
and it begins with my own challenge of finding my way around. I'm this friend. I am sighted, but I have
Hmm.
horrible times finding my way around.
Hmm.
Guess what? This is everyone's challenge, and it's not unique to
Right.
blindness
Yeah.
disorder. It's not more
Yeah,
severe
yeah,
there, but um, and at the time we were thinking, if we'll be able to solve my orientation challenges to the other have again more severe ones. We were thinking about the blind, visually impaired community, then ultimately we'll be able to solve it for everyone. So we decided to focus primarily on the BVI audience. Um,
Hmm.
Fast forward to today again. I won't give you the whole story, a whole history of our 8 years, but fast forward for today, we're basically turned about 2,500 locations worldwide into
nice.
more accessible environments. Again, primarily for the blind, visually impaired, but really for anyone. More specifically, people with different orientation challenges. It could be cognitive, it could be sight, it could be even mental and language
Hmm.
barrier, by the way, just imagine
Hmm.
yourself in a I can talk about a story I had in a Chinese airport a few years ago, but I mean, you might see the signs, but you cannot necessarily read them. And Saida and Joseph, there's two facts I always share. You're probably familiar with that, but I always share these two facts when I talk about right here. The first one is kind of known, I guess, for your listeners. Both of them will be known, but the first one is that you can find Braille signs everywhere you go in the country, right?
Right.
Right.
Small restaurants all the way to the biggest airports, hospitals, shopping
Hmm.
malls,
Mm.
museum, you name it,
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Hotels. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Hotels, exactly.
All
Cruise
that.
ships, wherever you
Mm.
go, it's an ADA thing. You'll find them in the elevators, in public restrooms, etc. So it's all
Restrooms. Yeah.
around us, right?
ATMs. Hmm.
ATMs, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right?
Right.
So, and that's there because of the ADA, and ADA, I think, is celebrating 37 years this year. Um,
Yes.
and that was a great, at the time they were asking, how can we make signs more effective for everyone? And the best
Hmm.
idea in the room was let's put Braille in it. And that's brings me to the second fact, which I guess many of your listeners are aware of. Over 90% out of the blind community cannot read Braille at all.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
truth.
That's
And
what it is.
right. And I mean, you could probably say better than I do for the 10% or less that can read Braille, finding the signs could be a challenge as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be a little difficult. Yeah.
Right. And then assuming you find a sign, we've heard that in the past 4 years since COVID, you don't necessarily want to touch them anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Ain't that the
that is
truth?
true. That
And,
is true.
and assuming you've done that, you get a very limited amount of information, a lot of not even accurate. So all in all, it was a great move into the right direction. I'm glad it's there and I hope it will stay there. But technology can do more. And I think there's more ways to complement that or complete that with audio format of the signs.
Right.
Everyone has smartphones nowadays to make it more effective.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what Right Here is focusing. We're basically, the whole system, but it boils down at the end to an app, a free app for our users
Yeah.
to
Right.
download,
Hmm.
Android, iPhone, and it gives them audio descriptions of the world around them.
Yes. So,
Wow,
Idan,
that's incredible.
yes. And then I have so many questions. So, and I'm just excited to have you here because you know what they say about, straight from the horse's mouth, right? And
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
benefit of having
Real
you here.
facts.
Right.
Yep,
You
And
know?
yep,
so,
yep.
so the app, so we download the Right Here app on our phone, right?
Mhm.
Now, one of the main things for me is how do we know who has or what buildings or locations have Right Here? Do we have to know
Yeah.
that in advance?
Good
Yeah, so
question.
that's a great question. We've been asked that many times. So yeah, the first step is to really download the app. And for those who don't have it yet, it's called Right Here, like hearing, H-E-A-R. So RIGHT, H-E-A-R. Hopefully, we can possibly add links.
We definitely will add the
Yeah, we
links.
definitely
Yep,
will add the
Yeah.
that will
links
be
for
in our
sure.
Awesome.
description. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So it's a free app. It's anonymous. There's no sign in. We won't ask your name. We won't ask your email or Facebook or anything like that. We
Oh,
don't
wow.
know
Hmm.
anything about you. We keep your privacy yours.
Mm-hmm.
And once you download the app and open it up, there is a button there called nearby locations. And in this button, you
Mm,
basically find a list of all the nearby locations that have Right Here, from the one that is nearby all the way to the ones that are far away. Right Here is available outdoors and indoors. So for the
Nice.
outdoor, yeah, I mean, we're using GPS in the outdoors, so you can really use it everywhere, wherever you are.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of, if you will, a Google Maps, but that been with accessibility by design, not as an afterthought user experience.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it, outdoors wherever you go, and then again through the list, you can find what locations are accessible with their system. The app can help you simulate that location, so you can build some sort of a mental map before going there.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard that help build the confidence of actually going there by yourself. And then
Right.
the app can ask you, if you how you like to get there with Uber, Lyft, or other tools, all the way, to that facility. And inside, again, I think the main value of Right Here is really in the indoor environment. There's,
Right.
Hmm.
where you are, what is there, what's around you, and give you the special awareness needed
Right.
to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have to point and like aim, or this is automatically just once
Pick it
you
up.
pick the location, it just start telling you what's around?
So yeah, I mean, if I got your question right, Joseph, right, it's not something a lot of I explain, the difference between navigation and orientation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with navigation, it's really is just like, you set in take me to Joseph office, right? And then turn
Mm-hmm.
right
Hmm.
to left, turn right to left, you've arrived. This is not what Right Here is doing, at least not in the indoors. We do that in
Okay.
the outdoors, but in the indoors, we're actually providing a different type of experience, which is an orientation experience. It's, by the way, it's not better or worse. It's just a bit of different. It's more of like, think about us as signage, just as the sign.
Mm-hmm.
You just know where you are, what is it, what's around you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe based on that information, you can navigate places, absolutely. But the goal isn't necessarily take you step by step, certain places, but just to get
Right.
the same equal experience as everyone else that go there.
Kind of to let you know you're going the right way.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yep.
Quick,
Nice.
quick thought. I just in this, I heard this. I don't, and I am glad that you can confirm or deny.
Sure.
Is it true that it could be at some like bus stops and different
Yeah.
at the bus stops and stuff that it can be used there in different
Yes.
locations?
Yes, yes. We haven't had project like this in the US yet, but we have it other places in the world.
Okay.
And yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
again, when you think about it we also have some, different integrations with the different public transport information,
Right.
what buses are coming in what hour and
Mm-hmm.
in real time. But when you think about this, is really is talking signage system. Like there's so
Right.
many signage around us.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever we go, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Signs
mean,
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine really a world without signage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
so the point is really bringing these signs into, let them speak, let them talk, and again, this is not just helpful for the blind. Think about we talked a little bit before the recording,
Mm-hmm.
about other orientation challenge that could be cognitive. You might see a
Yes.
sign,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot necessarily read it
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
dyslexia or other
Yeah.
cognitive disability, or you might see
Mm-hmm.
the sign and you can read well, but you just don't speak the language,
Right. Yeah.
right? Being able to hear it in your own language, in your own pace. Um,
Does the app translate?
Yes. Yeah. And we do that for
That's good to
35,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
35 different languages. It's the most common languages in the world. So, yeah.
Right.
Um,
That is
And
awesome.
so these signs are already built into the database for whatever location that's
you got
collaborating
it.
with the right here.
Yeah.
You
Awesome.
got it.
Awesome.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
I want to share because I actually have experienced right here and I've
Hey,
utilized it. I've done some testing with it as well.
yeah.
One of the things that I like, and this is for companies, and we right here can be in any company, right? There's no
Yep.
limitations as to where it can be. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all any companies that are listening, if you're interested in right here,
Yeah, sure. I
you
mean, we
know,
have we've done all of McDonald's restaurants in Israel for the past 5 years.
yes,
So I
Nice.
usually give
right,
them as an example, not just because of the light of the brand, but because who needs a
yeah,
wayfinding system in a McDonald's, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
guess
for
what?
sure.
You do need that there. Like you do
Yeah.
need to
yeah,
go
yeah,
the entrance, this is the counter, this is the restrooms, men, women, things of that
yeah,
sort. So from small facilities that I think we're very specialized in, all the way to the biggest, airports, hospitals.
right.
At this point, we have about in every sector, we have a few flags projects that I'm very proud of.
Yes, and
Nice.
what I like is that the messages or the directions can be tailored specifically for each location. So it's not like a generic direction that you're getting
All right.
you know, it's not a general thing. If this building has a red pillar, it will
Mm-hmm.
say, there's a red pillar on your left, even though red means nothing to me, but it's still nice that to
Yep.
know that this
No,
is a
yeah.
red pillar that I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking by, you
You can
know?
use
Yeah.
that for more information. So yeah,
Yes,
that's yeah.
and it does. And even though I may not see that red, I can still know, well, here's the pillar it just told me. Or it could say
Yeah.
10 feet, there's a red pillar on your left. And
That's a
so
good landmark.
yes, and so
Exactly.
I love the fact that it can be, tailored to the different offices because it's not a one size fits all. It is
Correct.
a specific tailoring to
And,
the area you're in.
yeah, and I can tell you there's a whole interface for the facility, to control, edit, and manage all these descriptions. And I must say, there are challenges right there. How do you really
Yeah,
describe? I mean, we're all familiar with audio descriptions from movies, right?
right.
Right.
Yeah,
And there's a profession for that. There are people who have
right.
been trained and, practice of how to describe a movie for a blind, person.
Yeah,
And
Right.
yeah,
here, how do we describe the environment? Do we say that it's red? Do we say that,
yeah,
talk about the,
right.
Mm.
there's a lot of, thanks, to some of our partners, in the field, we're making great know-how in this and building
Right,
standards around it as well. And yeah,
right.
part of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
I definitely think this is a great app for the
Mhm.
BDI community and even for us. And the more that it's out there, the more that it would be, make our independence,
So
just
much
grow.
better. For real.
Yes,
Just
yes,
a
Yes.
quick download that of an app, y'all, and it's just right
yes.
there with the signs. It's
But it's
beautiful.
but it's more than that though, right?
Here you
We
go. Here
we
you
can
go.
download it all day long. But if companies don't have it,
Well,
if
yeah,
people are not using it, that's we are a part of a community that is a part of a larger
the
community.
community. Yeah.
And that's completely spot on. I mean,
Yep.
one of the things we're operating in the US just 2 years now, and
Right.
one of the things we've learned, I think our biggest insight, biggest breakthrough, if you will, we're learning the market in the past 2 years is that, in the first year, no matter what type of facility we were reaching out to, whether it's a hotel or a shopping mall or you name
Hmm.
it always sounds like, hey Joseph, people who are blind or visually impaired having a hard time to find their room in your hotel. Hey, but Joseph, don't go anywhere. We have a great solution for you. Here's how it works.
Right.
Da, da, da. And the other
Yeah.
side, unfortunately, was always like, yeah, I don't think any blind people coming to my hotel.
Yeah.
Of course they
So
do,
yeah.
right?
That's so not
Yeah.
That
true.
was
Not
tough.
true at all.
That
Yeah.
was tough. And they were always thinking about us, okay, this is a company trying to sell us something. And guess what? We did. We did try to sell them
Right.
something that we believe could help them. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then what we found that when these inquiries come from the community,
Right.
when
Right.
we got several calls by now from hotels that, hey, I got this inquiry from a guest here who is apparently blind, and he mentioned your name and he mentioned that could
Hmm.
help his experience. Is a customer. tell
Hmm.
me more. The whole
Right.
dynamic is different. So that's something,
Hmm.
Yeah.
we cannot, like, we can be a great developer, but without the advocacy of the community, that will go
Yeah.
nowhere. And you know,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
super important to us. One of the things, one of the methods that's important to me, in this, episode of your podcast, bringing out is that, accessibility is not a feature for
Right.
facilities to have. It's people's right.
Hmm.
Yes.
People's
Yes,
right
sir.
won't,
Absolutely.
right? If they won't advocate for it, if they won't ask for it or won't fight for it, even,
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not
Yeah.
gonna happen. So
Yes, absolutely. So then there you go right there. And this is what I want to let our listeners know. Try it out for yourself. You could just try it, but when you go to these different locations and facilities and you
Gotta
say,
advocate for you.
you know what, if this had right here, this would be great. So
yeah,
let
Mhm.
let them know. When you're
and
at
Let
that
them know.
hotel, let that front desk know, hey, check out right here. You can go to their website, any of that stuff
yeah.
because people just don't know. And there's a lot of people in the sighted community that don't know what's out there for us. So it's up to us to share what they can have that would help us.
And
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 there's
we
no
have
reason why we can't make the experience better.
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And we have this again, and I invite all listeners to reach out to us. We have a group, a program, and a volunteers group. We call the Unlock, which advocate for this. And there's
Mm-hmm.
great stories already of multiple locations became accessible, slowly because it's been requested by the community. It's people who,
Right.
hey, that park would be great if it would be accessible, and it became
Mm-hmm.
accessible. That museum, that restaurant, whatever that is. So if you're listening to this episode and you want to do
Yes.
something, but you're not sure what your next step's going to look like, we have a great way of helping you with this. Just reach out to us, and we'll give you all the tools and resources and guidance and group. There's a group around us that doing that. So you're not alone doing this. So
Yes, we will
Awesome.
definitely put the
Awesome.
links. And you just said something. Here's the thing. You know how there are times when we have to have, at the museums, somebody cited, you have to pay an employee to come
mhm.
and navigate and assist us throughout the whole.
The
But what
whole
if you
place
had,
taken
what if you
away.
had right
Yeah.
here?
Now
Exactly.
we're able to walk through and
You
just,
don't need, yeah,
audible. Yeah.
right here would make it to where we don't have to take away your employees from that. We
Right.
can do it ourselves if you have right here. And I
And
think people need to invest in us.
Most
So,
that's
definitely.
independence, right? That's
yes,
Yes.
independence right there. It's a whole different experience,
it
right?
is.
That's
It
what
is.
accessibility is all about. There's no human in the loop, not
Yes.
your employees, not anyone remote. It's you and the world, just like any other
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As it
Inclusivity.
should be.
That's what it's all
Exactly.
about.
exactly.
Inclusivity. And I think that this is a great way to help us in our blind journeys, right? Just
Yeah.
throughout and not only in US. I mean, you're everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. Worldwide. So
So
it's an awesome
And
awesome.
thing.
it's a free, again, completely free to our end users. You're listening to us indoors, outdoors, out of space, underwater, no small work, completely free, completely private. I can also share that for facilities, it's a very reasonable accommodation.
Yes.
It's not a big deal. I mentioned McDonald's earlier, so I can tell you that for a facility like McDonald's, which you can all imagine how big and complex it is, which is,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you're looking at less than $400 a year. So I mean,
Are you serious? That's it?
it should be a no-brainer. Say, right? Say that. I mean,
Yeah, it really
it should
should.
be a no-brainer decision. It
Oh my
shouldn't be like
Especially
goodness.
for these companies. Yeah.
and
Right. Oh
that,
my goodness. To
yeah,
make so people want to sit there and say that they are, inclusive of the disabled community. I mean, that's
Here's
a
your
good
way
way to
now.
prove it
there you
right
go.
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
Idan, let me because I we are going to put the links as well, but
hmm
sometimes people just want to hear it.
hmm
Um, can you give the website and spell out your right here because that could
Absolutely.
be confusing because there's a few
Absolutely.
here's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's,
Couple of
like,
them.
I know our name. I know it's pretty confusing. It's right, RIGHT, like left and right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then dash HEAR, here, like
Mm-hmm.
hearing.com. So www.right-here.com. We call
Thank you.
ourselves, I know today I have like a villain ambivalent feelings with our name, but the reason we call our name right here is A, you're here where you are, but also
Yeah.
the self-reminder for us as an organization that the right thing to do for us is to hear and actually listen to the community. We chat before whose idea was it to start with it. Today is like it's the community's idea. We're very much committed to the needs and feedback of the community. It's a very much community-driven app, I would say. Um,
Hmm.
so that's one of the reasons of the name, but we
That
have
is
a
That is
great.
awesome. Yeah,
Yes, I
that is
love
really
that.
neat.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We,
Well,
we have
I
a
am so happy.
we have a community, by the way, that is meeting every week online. So
Hmm.
you're all welcome. It's Fridays 1 p.m. Eastern. Uh,
Hmm.
I guess that's 12. It's Central. Am I right?
Hmm. Yes, it
Yes.
is. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's just 30 minutes. It's again very much community driven. Each time, anyone from the community talk about 5, 10 minutes, and then the rest of the group is just Q&A around that. We bring some great people as well. So you're all invited.
That is
Well, let's
awesome.
build a
How
community,
how
y'all.
do we find that? Where is that at? Is
Oh,
that on
just
the
reach out
website?
to us. Yeah, I
Go to
mean,
the
we have
website?
also a community page on our website, but just here's my
Hmm.
email, right? I'm accessible. So
Yes.
it's Idan, Idan, at just like a website, RIGHT-HEAR.com.
Okay.
So there you go, listeners. No excuses, right?
No
You
excuses.
have
The man is
a
accessible. This,
yes,
hey, this
yes.
program is here. It's out here, and
It's
all we gotta
right
do is just
here.
advocate for it. Yeah, let's build this
Yeah,
community.
I
This
mean,
Thank
is,
absolutely.
thank
thank
you
you,
so
Adon,
much,
for really sitting
Idan.
down
That is
and just
just
providing this type of service, man.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
yes, it is
Thank you.
great. And listeners, please check out right here. We have the links in the description. And I mean, there's no excuses. Stuff is out here for us. Let's take advantage of it as much as we can. But more than that, let's share it with the people that can make a difference for us. And that is those
Yes,
companies,
indeed.
businesses out there. So make
This is
sure
building our
they're
community, y'all.
Yeah,
Here it
yes,
it's a
is,
whole movement. It takes a
right
village,
here.
right?
Yes, it takes
yes,
a village.
yes,
Right here,
yes.
right now, y'all. Let's
There
go.
you go.
Thank you so much, Idan.
Thank
Thank
you. It's been a
you.
Thank you.
pleasure.
Blind table talk, yeah.